Earlier today, I got a chance to speak with Chef Mario Carbone, the co-founder of Major Food Group at ZZ's Club. That's a private membership club in Hudson Yards, big redevelopment zone on the west side of Manhattan. Over the past 15-odd years, Major Food Group has grown from a couple Italian restaurants into a true fine dining powerhouse. Over 50 locations across 10 countries and a bunch of world-renowned concepts like Carbone, Parm, and Sedel's. Take a look. Mario, first of all, I can't believe I'm right in front of you. You create magic. Magic is almost impossible to create. How do you do it?
It is impossible. It's impossible to explain, too. I think it's the sum of its parts. We create what we love. I think it's got to start there. What we do is a particular style of fine dining. As a lover of fine dining yourself, I think we have a particular brand of fine dining, and it's one that isn't your traditional sort of hush environment. It's not that library experience where you're sort of being dictated by the chef. We came around probably almost 15 years ago and shook up the model a little bit of what I think fine dining can be. Something that was a derivative of the restaurants that I grew up going to in New York as a kid, and I always thought those were fine dining. You couldn't tell me otherwise, and so to kind of do this theatrical, experiential fine dining where you are part of my little movie and my little theater set, I think has been a big part of what's been a differentiating factor for us.
Well, I was going to use the word show.
Yeah.
It's a show. All of your places are shows.
Yeah.
Now, how do you have so many great directors and so many great people in the kitchen that the show's a hit every night? That's
something that is a tremendous challenge. How do you make sure that it's consistent? They're putting on the same performance. Theater is the greatest comparison to restaurants. I think at the same time every night the curtain goes up. We're in costume. We're putting on a performance. It's probably a period piece, and the customers are the only thing that changes every night. So we're on the exact same schedule, and we're putting on this show, this performance every night. We've been tremendously lucky to not have turnover. We have the tiniest amount of turnover. We've got a really happy house. People make good money here. They love being in this environment. They've bought in, and they've been here so long that they make it their own. So you fully believe that they're part of this establishment. They're not just here as a transient passerby that's working this shift. They're part of the house. They're part of the story. They're an actor in this whole play.
I don't know if people realize the turnover in your milieu is ridiculous. Keeping good people is impossible. So this must start at the top. You must create an atmosphere that people want to be a part of.
I'd like to believe so. I think culture is a big reason why we win. Culture is why we don't have to rehire. Hiring is a great thing if you're growing. That you're growing, you need more people, amazing. You're hiring because you need to refill a role that you lost is just a tremendous waste of time and resources.
Sam Walton and Jim Cramer, they both understood that, and that's why Walmart and Costco, the two most successful retailers, they understood you can't have turnover because then to train a person. Terrible. Now, you branch beyond just restaurants. We go back to restaurants, but here is something that I have loved.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to figure out whether this itself, judging by the compares, is not worth everything you put together.
That was the thesis, right? Was can we make something that was just as good in that jar as you're going to experience tonight at the restaurant? That was what we worked towards. We spent a lot of time on it. That was what kind of kept me up at night. But to deliver a product across the country to cities and towns where we're never going to be able to open a restaurant, we can't touch everybody with 80 seats at a time. So the brand was growing. It had outside sort of presence and fame, and we're like, how do we capitalize on that? How do I get it to everybody? Virtually everybody. And that was the answer to it. And now we're in sort of 30,000 stores across the country, and 5 years in a row, the fastest growing brand in the country.
Well, we know another company, Campbell's, bought a similar, never denigrate the competition. I learned that. But the one thing I would say is that if I could buy shares in this, I would. Do you ever think about it? Because you've got this incredible model that nobody else has. So it's not like a Me Too. It's not a Darden. It's not a Texas Roadhouse. And those are fine establishments. But this is a unique part of someone's portfolio if they could get it.
I think about it every day.
You do?
I think about it every day. I watch your show. I get all pumped up, and I think about someday ringing the bell on the stock exchange.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be, as a native New Yorker, it would be the dream of a lifetime.
Oh, now let me ask you, how do you pick which one's next? I mean, you've got Carbones, but you've got some other brands, and it's people don't realize how many brands you have, but all brands seem to be successful. How do you pick the next one? Are you thinking right now of a city that should have a Carbones right now?
Yeah, I mean, we have multiple cities that are in construction right now, right? Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Tokyo. These things take years to develop. From the beginning of negotiations to construction to pre-opening, I mean, it takes a really long time. So for us to continue to grow at the pace we're growing, you have to have a project, projects this year, working on next year. We're 3-4 years out on deals right now.
Oh my God, really?
So absolutely, and there's so many incredible cities and markets of the world that we want to be present in. So, we've got quite a runway.
Well, when I came here to Zizzi's, what I found, I was with someone who was a member of the club. Yep. Now, this is a person who is a billionaire, right? This was his prize of New York. He wanted to show me the club. All he wanted to was the club. And we got there, and it was every bit as fabulous as he said. How do you do this? And can we all have, this is like a London club. That's how he said it. It's a dinner club, Jim. How did you come up with this idea, and could there be more?
There can definitely be more of them. Something we're working on as we speak. I think that there can definitely be more of them. It came about because I wanted to see and I wanted to take care of my very, very best customers. We had been 10, 12 years old as a company. We had built up this tremendous database. Our greatest asset is our database of customers and taking care of them. So to build a club that was to take care of our very, very best customers on the highest level possible. And then once you're dealing with a club environment, it's different than a restaurant environment. So it's a great challenge to the team, doing all of the different nuances that go into a members club, the programming, daytime, nighttime, different concepts, different styles of cuisine, different bars. How do I entertain people all night long in these ways? So I loved the challenge. I loved the idea that we were taking care of the people that had taken care of us for so many years. Those were some of the things. Obviously, there's a members club boom happening as we speak, but we knew we had a very particular thing to say with this one. This is, to your point, this is a dining club. If you're a lover, if you're a gourmand, if you're a lover of food and beverage, this is the club for you.
Well, you mentioned beverage. Younger people apparently, although I think they're coming back, candidly, drink a little less. So they're a customer who eats more. Can you make as much with the food if people stop drinking the alcohol?
I think it's important to listen to the generation and say, what are they saying with their dollars? What are they saying with their pockets? They're definitely health conscious. There's definitely been certainly a trend of drinking less. We're seeing that in the major alcohol brands. But what they're also saying is we're willing to spend a disproportionate amount of money on experience.
Right.
Travel,
right.
dining. If you give me an experience, give me something intangible. Give me an experience and I will be free with my cash. I'll spend a disproportionate amount of money on that, but I will maybe cut back at some of these other areas for whatever reasons. And it's a pendulum; it'll swing back and forth. But I think that plays perfectly to us. We're experiential. It's theatrical. We're going to give them a reason to spend their money, and I think we're hedged in that way.
Well, let's go back to the original. How did you know? When did it get buzzed? When did it switch from being I hope people come to being okay? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. When did that happen?
Well, our very first restaurant was tiny. It was 6 tables, 400 square feet, and it took a couple years for that. We were unknowns. It took a few years of chipping away at that small restaurant to get the beginnings of the embers of the fire. And then when we found the space that was to be Carbone, it was a big leap in size for us. We had an 80-seat restaurant. It was a great old space. So we took the embers that had begun to burn at the very small restaurant and applied it to this big one. And then that scale at the time gave us a chance to start feeding more people, and the buzz grew a little bit louder. And 40 customers a night became 240 customers a night, and it started to grow. And some great journalists along the way were very kind with their words, and things began to take off, and it's a snowball effect.
But you don't. Let me put this right. You don't charge a lot. You charge a good price.
Thank you.
You don't.
I think we charge appropriately.
Yes.
I mean, cost of goods is expensive, and if you're someone like myself, I mean, I'm a chef. I'm a born and raised chef, and my tools are my ingredients. I am unrelenting in choosing the ingredients. So regardless of what cost of goods is today, and we all know that they're rising, but like I'm not going to start sacrificing my ingredient, and I don't think my customer wants me to either. The people that know us, that know our brand, they don't want us to start sacrificing on the ingredients. I'm taking the tools out of the hands of the chef. I'm not going to do that. So I think we charge appropriately to whatever today's COGS are, and that's just kind of how it goes.
So last thing I want to know is, you are opening places. When you open in Dallas, when you open in Mexico City, do people know who Carbone is? Do they know? Because I imagine the places that you're putting in, if a hotel gets you, the hotel's made.
Yeah.
Right? It's made.
That's why we'll be in hotels ourselves, because for that very same reason, right? We're such an influential part in the average nightly spend and ADR of a hotel that we might as well be on the other side of that deal.
You've got to come public. I know it's a pain to be public in a lot of ways, but boy, everyone will want to share.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I want to share. My charitable trust wants to share. It is very exciting to talk to you. Mario Carbone is the emphasize that, co-founder of Major Food Group, and it's electric to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Coming up, you've got questions, Cramer's got the answers. Get charged up for a fast-fire lightning round. Next. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.